DiPrima go way back. Satisfied making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. With hopes of black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. First things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go, sis.
KBLA Talk 1580, good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First. And my first thing today, tomorrow, and the next day, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's do this. Let's stir the pot. Let's shake it up. Let's go. So the way we do the show on a Wealth Building Wednesday, which is where we are today. Hour 1, we look local, what's going on the left coast. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. In the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person of interest or a hot topic. Today is both. We'll be talking with Dream Person Lynn and the brass knuckle finance theory of getting your money right. It's on theme today with a Wealth Building Wednesday. We'll meet a Black-owned or socially innovative or BIPOC-owned business. And, of course, joining me for Hour 1 to talk what's going on right now around here, and boy, is it a lot. You know him from the National Action Network. He's a senior pastor of the historical Weller Street Missionary Baptist Church in downtown the Boyle Heights region of Los Angeles, and he is the president and Western Regional Director of Reverend Al Sharpton's local civil rights group, the National Action Network. K.W. Tullous, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me this morning, Ms. Dominique. I'm so happy to be with you and roll with you on this Wealth Building Wednesday. Yeah,
it's great to have you in. It's been a minute. And we're dealing with a whole bunch. I know nationally and locally, the National Action Network has got to be working overtime right now.
Yeah, I want to thank God for our leader, the Reverend Al Sharpton, and our Western Regional Director here in California and the West Coast, Reverend Jonathan Mosley. We have been at the forefront of the resistance, as we will call it. There's so much going on across the world. We see so many attacks on just our basic civil rights, and I'm grateful to be a part of an organization that will stand flat-footed and just speak truth to the powers, you know.
Do you think the resistance is enough, Rev? I mean, I feel like there's a perception that legacy civil rights groups like the National Action Network, like the NAACP, like the Urban League, and like the Democratic Party, if you want to call it that, are just not doing enough, bringing a knife to a gunfight, being wimps, and we need a whole bunch of Mike Tysons. Unfortunately, he went over to the MAGA side.
Well, let me say, ultimately, we're grateful for our legacy civil rights organization, but of course, it's not enough, and so we're grateful for our newer organizations that's at the forefront and that's helping us in this resistance. I think it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. I don't think we all operate the same manner.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I think as we all dig at this situation, I think the more we dig, the deeper we get within, and the more progress we make as a people.
Do we have time to be digging and making progress? I mean, it feels like an all-out assault on everything black.
Well, hey, it is what it is. We knew what it was.
It is what it is.
Hey, we knew what we was going to get if our president was elected, and he has been unapologetically against many of the progress of America. And it's very important that we reposition ourselves to say that we're not gonna take it no more. We're gonna continue to fight and dig and advocate just for our community.
So, what does that mean? I mean, I do talk radio, right? That's
Right.
what I do. I talk. I mean, I also am active in various groups and all that. But it does feel like a moment when talking and speaking truth to power ain't gonna be enough.
Well, no, talking is not enough. I mean, we have to mobilize. We have to organize.
Right.
I mean, we know what this what a presidency from this president will get us, and so it's very important that we continue.
Did we know, Reverend? I mean, I feel like I was saying what I thought was going to happen in Project 2025 and looking at his track record, and people question whether I was being hyperbolic, but in reality, I didn't foresee Elon Musk being like a commandant within the MAGA world. I did not see the swift dismantling of agencies. I didn't predict the total elimination of USAID, which is what gives us our soft power in the world, and also keeps a lot of diseases at bay.
Well, listen, we saw what this president brought us in his 4 years before.
Yeah, but I just feel like this is way worse.
He's unhinged, and at the end of the day, again, it's important for us as activists, us as leaders within our community to continue to fight and to continue to raise awareness and organize and mobilize. I mean, these are policies, these are individuals that he's putting in place that is detrimental to the very fabric of what America is all about, of America that we fought for. And so at the end of the day, I'm grateful for Reverend Sharpton and the National Action Network, NAACP, Black Lives Matter, every group that's doing something to really show their resistance to the policies and the individuals that this man has put in place. We have to do what we do as a people.
So what are some of the initiatives that National Action Network is doing that people maybe want to get involved with or support?
Well, the beautiful thing is, the day of the day of the inauguration, Reverend Sharpton held a big rally in Washington, D.C., where thousands of individuals came, and we have agreed to these next 100 days to really study and to understand those policies that he's putting in place, and we're actually developing a strategic plan that's we're going to really talk about and highlight during our national conference, which is April 2nd to April the 5th in New York City. All of the legacy organizations are coming together, and we're going to really put forth an effort these next few days to really combat many of the policies, many of the procedures and executive orders that he has planned. And we're going to really kind of develop a strategy to fight.
Oh, boy. When you put it like that, it sounds shady. But, okay, Rev K.W. Tullous is here with us. And you're welcome in. As usual, I accept calls all the time, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580, or tap in where the conversation happens on YouTube, which is KBLA 1580. We're streaming right now. You can see the Reverend Tullous. You can see me. You can chat, and I will view your comments. Also weigh in on all the social media, KBLA 1580 on every platform. I do check and see what y'all be saying. And you can DM me even if you follow, like, subscribe at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. And let's keep it going on all levels, all at once. That's what we do around here. We are unapologetically black, unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only on iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance. and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop. A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
If you struggled to lose weight in the past, this important message is for you because you could lose as much as 50 pounds or more with Zelfie. Zelfie makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelfie providers can prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others. Plus, help get the medication covered by insurance so it's as little as $0 a month. The doctors are super helpful, and the meds have been a game changer. It's the first program I've had success with. Before Zelfie, I was unable to lose weight, even though I was eating healthy and exercising 6 days a week. Zelfie helped me not only lose weight, but I feel so much better. Text GOAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GOAL to 200-300. That's GOAL to 200-300. GOAL to 200-300.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, Rev K.W. Tullous is with us, and he's also with the National Action Network. So a pastor in the activist tradition of pastoring. What's your prayer for America right now? What's your prayer for L.A. right now?
You know, my prayer for America is that we will continue just to be that light in dark situations. You know, it seems pretty dark right now, and we have to understand as individuals, we have to be that light. The job of an activist is to shine light on dark situations, and that's what we do. That's what we strive for every day. Be that light. Don't allow that light to be dimmed by racism or fascism, anything, you know, any of the isms. Just continue to be that joy and that light in dark situations, especially when we talk about Los Angeles. There's so much that's happening from the fires and from the homeless crisis that we're facing in our city. I'm committed to living my life to lift up leaders like our mayor, Karen Bass, and I'm willing to jump in a fight with her because there's so many different situations going on in our community and our city that she needs our prayers, she needs our support, and she needs our light because she's one of our most progressive leaders of all time, and we want to do whatever we can.
To sit in the mayor's office, you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure that light is in the mayor's office.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. I mean, I feel like, yes, she needs our prayer, she needs our light, absolutely. I think she's going to need our organizing because it feels like there's a lot of organizing going on against her. And I was so disappointed to hear the comments from the Steve Soboroff, who she appointed as sort of a czar to help rebuild the Palisades, the West Side, which is where he's from. And the pushback and really a lot of disinformation from folks living on the West Side. Now, I understand why people are upset. They lost their whole houses. Right. Their kids and families have been traumatized. People have died. But and now we have to figure out what to do with the toxic waste. I get that, but the way folks lashed out at the mayor, it's just a special kind of venom that's reserved for black women. And to see someone like Khloe Kardashian going off and blaming the mayor for Malibu, which she's not even the mayor of,
Right.
and blaming Mayor Bass when she doesn't know jack about politics, hasn't been involved with politics, and now suddenly she's an expert. I see, Rick Caruso moving. I was glad to see him set up a charitable organization, but clearly he's campaigning right now. And I feel like we have to do more than prayer, like not to downgrade prayer at all, but I feel like there's organizing going on. The fact that Soboroff, who's supposed to be on the mayor's team, right, is in a meeting of alumni at Harvard Westlake, which is going to be a powerful group of predominantly white people.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I know that private school world,
right,
or independent schools, as they like to call themselves.
Right.
And he's over there saying he was lied to and implying that Mayor Karen Bass lied, and then he backed off of it later. But the damage is done. He's in the room with powerful, wealthy movers and shakers complaining that he was lied to and he shouldn't have to work for free and blah, 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 blah. Business, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. So what is he?
Listen, this has been, the attacks that's been levied against our mayor has been unprecedented. These are individuals, again, that have a bigger focus, more beyond the mayor. And, she's wrestling with so many different situations.
Why would you, as the Palisades czar or the fire chief for the city, try to throw the mayor under the bus?
It's all strategic. It's all calculated.
Well, it's a bad calculation. You don't throw your boss under the bus.
Never.
How is that going to serve you or the city?
Right. I agree 100-fold, and I pray that the right people get behind the mayor and help hold up her arms in this season of her life, because again, we as a people, we're going to continue to organize and make sure that our mayor is projected and our mayor is ready to fulfill these last few years and hope and prayerfully reelected as our mayor of Los Angeles. We know it's a bigger picture. I mean, the bigger picture of Olympics. There's individuals that's not happy with her being elected as the mayor, but again, this is an opportunity for our community to rally together and to hold her arms up and to push her forward.
I mean, I feel like we need to remember why we elected her. And for those who aren't familiar, we need to spread the word and help familiarize, because we elected a community organizer, much like Obama in that sense. We elected a medical professional. I don't know who better to lead a city in a time like these wildfires, where we're going to be we're dealing with a lot of mental health and actual physical health effects of the wildfires. We elected a woman who was the first woman to lead, a black woman to lead a state house, so she's done state politics, congresswoman who's done, national politics. And so, to me, that's who you want if you're going to deal with a Trump administration, someone who has a reputation for working across both sides of the
100%.
aisle, someone who's got the federal, state, local, and community organizing portfolio. Someone who's never led a city that's probably not a good idea right now.
Well, we know, again, looking at her resume, looking at her track record, she's always been for the people. She's always governed for the people. And I believe it's our community responsibility to continue to hold up her arms, continue to root her forward, and continue to help in every aspect that we can. We have bright minds here in Los Angeles, strong, progressive city, strong, progressive activists, and it's important that we get behind her and we defend her, and we share that record that you just shared today. We know what we get from our mayor. We're going to continue to support her and push her forward.
Yeah, well, I think I always say this, Reverend Tullous, California is kind of bipolar. It's, you've got these real progressive areas in the cities where a lot of black people and other BIPOC folks live. And then you have the center of the state, which is very conservative, in Orange County, which is sort of purple, right? So we just elected Nathan Hoffman and passed Prop 36 and didn't pass Measure 6. So how progressive are we?
Well, listen, let me tell you, I think we need leaders that have a connection to the community, and our mayor most certainly have a connection to the community, and we know what we get from our mayor, but we also have those that are not, people driven, community driven. That's why we're able to elect DAs and not pass bills that's as progressive as our state looks like.
Okay, so here's the thing. It seems like folks are choosing, in some cases, fear over faith. Fear over faith. Oh, no, they're smash and grabs. Let's elect the guy that's, going to do damage and actually refilling all of our prisons with minor offenders, right? He's going after trespassers. He said that almost week one. Oh no, they're smash and grabs. Let's pass an egregious law that's going to criminalize minor offenses with longer and longer sentences. Hochman, who has said, on the campaign trail that he was bringing back the death penalty and gang enhancements. So it seems like we are. Not we, because I didn't vote for those things.
Right.
But many are choosing fear over faith. So what's the remedy to that, politically and spiritually?
Well, let me say this. First of all, we as people of faith, we got to continue to walk by faith. And we have to understand that we walk by faith and not by sight. And regardless of what's being pushed at us, whatever the narratives might be, we have to pray for a discerning spirit, and we have to look at the broader picture. Ultimately, we cannot bow down to fear, because fear is not what we're all about as a people of faith. And ultimately, when we look at fear would drive us to make horrible decisions, like selecting a DA that's going to bring back the death penalty, or prosecute our minors and things of that matter. But the reality is, again, we can't choose fear over faith. We have to continue to understand that we are faith individuals, and we walk by faith and not by sight. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And ultimately, when we have faith, our faith would drive us to that greater destination in life. So,
there's fear, and there's also what I see as two of the biggest obstacles right now. Fear, because of what we're logically seeing with our own eyes, not illogical fear. Fear as we see what appears to be pure evil unfolding in our country, and then discouragement.
Right.
Well, we lost half the people, in the country are under the illusion or delusion of white supremacy. We, have a maniac cutting away at federal programs. Oh, well, I think I'll just go live my life and see what happens. I feel like there's a lot of discouragement, and that is also the portfolio of a pastor, right? To keep us encouraged.
Yeah, we got
to make it happen, Rev.
Listen. We're living in a season where there's so many people that's disconnected from just politics in general. A lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are struggling just to make it week by week. And I think we need more leaders again that's in tune to the struggles of human and people across this state, across this world. And sometimes when your voice is not being heard, sometimes you latch on to who's preaching the loudest. But the reality is, you have to have that discernment. You got to keep the faith, and you can't bow down. You can't bow down to the crookedness or evilness of this world.
I was talking, we only got a couple of minutes on news, traffic, and sports, but I was talking with Pastor Eddie Anderson, and I asked him, what is it a sin to wish for someone else's demise? And I mean, Cecil, I'm not going to ask you the same question, but the question is, when you're dealing with what appears to be an all-out assault on you and your family, your loved one, what would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do? Jesus will remain quiet. He will continue to be that person of love, that person of peace. And sometimes not everything deserves a reaction. And so at the end of the day, I think when we look at the life of him, we understand that, there's a blessing in the blows that we face in life, but he showed us how to get through it. And sometimes we get through it by just simply keeping our mouth shut and praying and having faith and belief that he will bring us through. That's what that's all about.
Okay, but if you, I don't mean to say but and be dismissive. What I'm saying is if white supremacists come and burn a cross on our lawn, if we're trans and we are not allowed to get a passport, if we are Latino and our family is, or other immigrants, there's immigrants, white people, everybody, but they're not getting deported, being shipped, taken from our homes, are we to be quiet then?
No, you got to continue to be that resistance, continue to be that voice. Jesus was a revolutionary. He stood in times, in dark places. He stood and he proclaimed, but he stood with dignity and with love, and that's what I'm saying. No, don't let your light burn out because of the water, of the people throwing water on you. But no, keep that light lit bright and let the world know where you stand. I think so many times we don't allow the world to know where we stand. Whose side are we on? So continue to stand in times like this.
And you're invited into the conversation with Reverend Tullous, 800-920-1580. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is black, will defend Chicago's sanctuary city status at a House hearing on March 5th, reaffirming the city's commitment to its values and an investigation into local policies and mass deportations. Apple shareholders voted to keep diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, opposing conservative efforts to eliminate them. This comes amid the Trump administration's criticism of such programs as discriminatory. Federal judges dealt President Trump 3 legal setbacks, halting his executive order to suspend refugee admissions and cut resettlement funding, ordering the release of owned foreign aid funds, and blocking the freeze on federal loans and grants. And Colombian police arrested a man at Cartagena Airport for attempting to smuggle over 200 grams of cocaine under his wig. The suspect, with a prior criminal record, was caught trying to board a flight to Amsterdam. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Love your baby's teeth. Before that first tooth, wipe their gums with a washcloth. When those first teeth come in, use a soft toothbrush and just a tidbit of toothpaste. And take them to the dentist by their first birthday. Learn more at loveyourbabysteeth.com. Brought to you by the LA County Department of Public Health.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a fun night for Luka Doncic against his former team, the Dallas Mavericks. In his first game against the Mavericks since he was traded to the Lakers on February 8th, Doncic had a triple-double in the Lakers' 107-99 victory at Crypto.com. Doncic finished with 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. He also had 3 steals. LeBron had a productive game. He scored 16 of his 27 points in the fourth quarter and finished with 12 rebounds. The Lakers, fourth in the Western Conference, are 13-3 since January 21st and have won 4 straight. During a timeout in the first quarter last night, the Lakers staff played a video tribute of Anthony Davis on the Crypto.com scoreboard. Davis sat on the Mavericks bench in street clothes. AD is recovering from a strained abductor muscle. The Clippers are at Chicago tonight. They're trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Fatherhood includes being present during pregnancy and beyond, supporting your partner, advocating for your baby, and ensuring a healthy birth. Black fathers play a key role in reducing maternal and infant health disparities, and your involvement starts during pregnancy. Join the free AIM Fatherhood program today and learn how to support your partner, advocate for your baby's health, and connect with other fathers committed to healthier births. Visit blackinfantsandfamilies.org/fatherhood to get started.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression. Izervay or avastin-capsid Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today. Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
You know what? I hear that drop, and I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the folks in our KBLA delegation that tune in your cars, that tune in on YouTube, that even listen later on the podcasts, which are available for free wherever you get your podcast, any show you missed. Now, they also live on YouTube. Once they've been on YouTube, they don't leave. For example, if you missed Asha and Mary Rockwayze last Thursday, boom, it's on YouTube. Boom, it's available for free wherever you get your podcast. Rev K.W. Tullous is with me right now, and a lot of stuff to cover. So, National Action Network, of which you are a member, did do a buy-in at Costco to promote the fact that Costco hasn't backed off of its DEI initiatives. And I'm not going to lie, I clowned it just a tiny bit. Not because I don't love Costco, I do, but I just wondered, like, one, should we be supporting black-owned businesses? And two, you know, are they going to see all those black people come in to buy stuff and say, you know, maybe we should cut our DEI. We don't want all these black people in here. Just kidding. But, you know, is that the solution, or do we need to circle our wagons and support ourselves?
Well, you know, I think it's a little bit of both. You know, the beautiful thing about the buy-in, that was just a big, you know, expression of we support those that support us. And when the leadership of the community, we all came together, National Action Network, BCCLA, Baptist Ministers Conference, we all came together and we said we want to just make this bold declaration that we're going to support those. And when we got to that Costco, we did it in Costco in Inglewood, and just being introduced to all the leadership that looked like us, you know.
What did you get at Costco?
I got gas.
You got gas, yes. They have good prices. I'm not going to lie.
I got gas, but, you know, the reality is, you know, we actually gave gift cards to individuals that was in line, individuals that supported. We had over 100 individuals that came from the community to support the buy-in. And, you know, our next effort is, again, to support those that support us. We're looking at right now supporting so many of our African American businesses here locally. That's our next push, is to make sure we support, we shop local African American businesses here in our communities. So we want to kind of drive those who supported us at Costco to our businesses here. So it's not a one size fit all approach, but we're here again to really just send that message that our community, we want to support those that support us.
Okay, let's go to Michael calling us from Kansas City. Good morning, Michael.
Yes, good morning, and thanks for taking my call. You all answered the question that I was going to ask. What's the National Black Network doing to proactively encourage, because you spoke about discouragement, encourage people, black people, to shop with here's an example of what I've got to do. I've got to replace the front walkway at a house.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the Black Chamber of Commerce here in Kansas City, got a list of contractors, and that's who I'm going to have do the concrete work. So are you all doing things like that?
Absolutely. And I think, ultimately we want to continue to support our Black-owned businesses within the community, and I think you laid the foundation for those across the country that's seeking to have work done. There's Black Chambers of Commerce across the world, Black businesses, organizations across the world. Check in, see, what kind of resources, what kind of services that they're offering, and make sure you do shop Black. I support that 100%.
There's also apps. I think there's Black Wall Street app and other apps, and then there's a phone number, 1-800-UNITE-US, that you can call, which will literally, and there's at least a couple of Instagram accounts that will connect you to Black-owned whatever you're looking for. I've been doing that forever because I just like to recycle my dollars whenever possible. There's some things, I'm going to go to Costco for. But whenever possible, I recycle my dollars.
Yeah, it's clear that Trump is protecting Black business and Black workers. So, if that's going to be his point of attack, our defense and then offense should be against that. We spend our money with our own folks. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. It's clear that once again the commander-in-chief lied and said that he was going to preserve Black jobs, and all he's done so far is fire Black people by the truckload, from high up officials like our Secretary of Defense to federal workers who work under DEI, and this talking point, I keep saying it, that it doesn't affect Black people, is wrong. It's just wrong. At least 30% of the people fired from the Department of Education were Black.
Wow.
And that department apparently has a huge number of Black employees. So, can't believe all these little memes. Jerry Anderson in the chat says these memes of Black women sipping tea while America burns are meant to discourage us from taking action. I kind of saw it as them saying, like, we'll look after ourselves. We're not saving all of you anymore because we're tired of being taken for granted. But I hadn't thought of it as a discouragement. How do you see it, Rev?
No, I see it exactly as you just pointed out. I think that this past election was an election that we're taking our country back. We're tired of giving you all the different programs and initiatives to help support you, and you're not supporting our candidates. So I truly believe in that. We see that most of the moves that's being made by this administration are designed to help, push their race.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Charles Q. Brown Jr., latest Black job gone. Now this is, I'm not a militaristic person, but you don't work your way up the ranks of the military to be chairman of the Joint Chiefs and a general as a Black man without being qualified. But yet if you're Pete Hegseth, you get to be Secretary of Defense. So how is this a meritocracy? Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense, and ultimately we see what we have to, what we're fighting against. We're fighting against a president that do what he want to do and how he wants to do it. And ultimately, we have to continue to uplift and hold up the arms of those who are in position. That's why it's important that we become a part of this resistance.
I want to, Molly Bell in the chat saying a bunch of great stuff, but she also says, love you, Reverend Tullous. And I want to love you, Pastor Tullous, and she's got a heart there. So I'm going to take that initiative from Molly Bell to let you invite folks to church.
Well, listen, I want to first of all thank God for Molly Bell. She's been a supporter for a number of years here in Los Angeles, and I love her voice. I love her prayers. She's a prayer warrior. But, I pastor the Weller Street Missionary Baptist Church, the last remaining predominantly African-American church in the Boyle Heights region of Los Angeles. We're a very progressive church, a church where everybody is somebody, but God is everything, a church that specializes in loving people regardless of what side of life view on. We do so many great things. I tell people all the time, you can out-preach me, you can out-hoop me, you can out-holler me, you can out-sing me, but you can't out-love me. I can love some people, and that's what we are. We're a church of love. We start 9 a.m. Sunday morning, 129 South Gless Street, LA, California, 90033. Our members travel from all over Los Angeles, all over the region of Southern California, and you're invited to come and be a part. I'm a pastor that believes in going beyond the walls of the church to really make an impact on our community. I've been doing it for a long time, and I will continue to do it as God gives me breath in my body.
WSMBCLA, Weller Street, Missionary Baptist Church, LA, WSMBCLA.org. If you want to go on their website, it's there, 9 a.m. sharp on Sunday morning.
Sharp.
Are we like a casual type of service, or is it hats and dresses?
Come as you are, come as you are. You come as you are. Once you come, you develop your own dress code.
Got it. We're talking with Pastor K.W. Tullous. When we continue this conversation, I want to talk a little bit about your work with the unhoused and how it's intersecting with some of the things that are happening in our city right now. That's straight ahead on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel so alone. I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like this.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like the style, huh?
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds. Learning new things comes with age.
My mom? She started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double-checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
Well, you could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Find a righteous rage, and don't be afraid to say what you see. For KBLA Talk 1580.
We are, and you are too. We're glad you're here. 800-920-1580 if you want to talk live and in person with Rev K.W. Tullous or me. So you do a lot of work with the unhoused, and certainly that's been another area of controversy for the city of Los Angeles. The city has made a huge investment in, helping unhoused folks, as has the county. And that agency, LASA, is kind of an intersection between the city and the county. Now you have Lindsay Horvath on the LA County Board of Supervisors trying to take power and money away from LASA. We've had controversy around the amount of transparency and the way that they're doing business. At the same time, Horvath's idea of creating yet another agency, sort of a homeless hub in the county, seems like it could create just yet another level of bureaucracy. What are your thoughts on all of that?
Well, my church, Wells Street Missionary Baptist Church, we work beyond the bureaucracy because we kind of, self-fund our own programs to really help the houseless community. Our church is in the downtown region of Los Angeles, and so coming to church, we see how horrible living conditions and how horrible this crisis is amongst our communities. So our church is committed every month to feeding hot meals. These are like what they call Band-Aids, but they look forward to that fried chicken and spaghetti and things of that manner from our community. But we feed over 300 families every month right there on Skid Row, right there on 5th and Crocker. And we also pass out 300 bags of groceries to our community because people are hungry, people are, and people are houseless. I pray that our county and city and programs come together because the crisis is real and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. It seems every month there's more and more people living out in tents and things of that manner. It seems like they're pushing people from one side of downtown LA to the other side, and ultimately when we look at this crisis, this is something where all hands must be on deck because there's people out there that's suffering from mental health to houselessness. And, I don't know if you know this, but even when it comes to houselessness, the new growing population is 70 and up. That they can't afford their rents and they're sleeping in their cars. Priced out.
Well, two things. Number one, for the first time under Mayor Batts, we actually did see houselessness in the city go down, but it's still a massive, huge problem.
It is.
And number two, if Elon Musk and Donald Trump, two billionaires who were born rich, white people, white men, born rich,
right,
cut Social Security as they seem to be preparing to do. This is what I keep telling folks, that 70-plus unhoused population is going to soar.
Right.
Because there are quite a few people, particularly black people, but everybody, the average American cannot handle a $300 emergency.
Right.
So, if you're barely staying in your apartment, your rent-controlled apartment or room, using your Social Security to pay it, what happens when the rich oligarchs get rid of Social Security to fund a tiny bit of their tax rebates, which is what is already indicated in the budget they're pushing forth right now?
Are they space research? The reality is, again, the least of these are those who have paid and worked their whole life, they're struggling, and we have these individuals in place that has no idea what struggling is about, because like you said, they were born rich, and the reality is we as a community must continue to raise awareness. We must continue to organize, and especially here in California, we must continue to shed that light on what's happening and make sure those who are locally in place protect those who are in need of this assistance.
Yeah, I think that people like Trump and Musk have been able to disguise themselves as populists. You know, Musk wears T-shirts and jumps up and down and tries to act like a sort of average young tech bro when he's a 50-something whose father owned emerald mines, and he's never even flown commercial. His dad was on Instagram talking about how his children didn't even know that you went through security. Their experience of flying is private jets. And then you have another man who was born a billionaire and has an actual golden toilet, and yet somehow the working class feels that some in the working class feel these are the folks that will help them. But I really think it's time for not just a racial wake up call, but a class wake up call.
Well, let me say the Bible kind of define those as wolves in sheep clothes, and so ultimately we see the real deal. We understand they have no connection, they don't understand what struggling is, or how you're going to pay your bill, or choose between your rent and your food. They don't understand these things, and it's important that we continue to use our platforms like this to talk about these, and encourage our community to continue to organize and don't lose faith.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the key to all of it, not losing faith. This is a story I've been meaning to talk about for a while, but haven't gotten around to because of 12 kinds of crazy going on in Washington, D.C., that L.A. County, and the city have been looking at how do you deal with all these RVs. Those people that are basically unhoused, but they're living in trailers or campers. And many times they don't even own those. They're being rented to them by unscrupulous owners. They don't have sewage, drainage, anything like that, so it's very unsanitary. In L.A. County has launched their first safe parking location for RVs. It's in the Crenshaw district. It's just a one-year pilot program that started in November on a piece of property owned by the county that used to be a probation department lot. And there's only 13 RVs. Really, we would need capacity, I would imagine, for hundreds.
Yeah. If you roll through South Los Angeles, if you pull up to your local churches, you see a lot of individuals living in RVs in front of churches across.
Wow.
And, the city and county have so much land that they can redevelop and farm, because, they're not living there. They're living there because they have to live there. This is their roofs over their heads. This is the next thing before a tent, these RVs. And ultimately, I believe the city and the county should do more in opening up spaces. But the problem is, a lot of communities don't want to have no RV camps. A lot of people, they don't want homeless shelters. And it's important that we have some sort of sympathy when it comes to individuals that have to live in these means. And we as a city got to continue to open up doors and opportunities to make sure that these individuals are safe and have just the basic needs of survival.
Well, this Pathway Home is the county initiative that has the mission to provide, among other things, safe parking. And according to their statistics, they've removed 624 vehicles from the streets and offering 1,100 people living in those vehicles interim and some permanent housing. But it seems like the RVs are specifically, have special problems of their own to get rid of them, and and for those that are going to keep living in them, to provide safe, sanitary conditions for them to live. The homeless count, the last homeless count, said there were 2,245 RVs inside the county with unhoused folks living in them.
Wow. I mean, drive up the streets. I mean, you see them parked in our residential neighborhoods. We see them on the streets. Again, we see them in front of our churches. It's a crisis, and we're begging for solutions. And
Supervisor Mitchell says in the LA Times that what they call van lords are renting these folks for large amounts of money. It's not that they're living there for free, so they're being exploited. They're not really safe conditions, and so I was glad to see at least one lot, and like you said, we'd like to see a lot more of those.
Yeah, we have so much land, the city, the county, and it's time that we redevelop them, not just for just for the people in need of right now services.
Yeah. Well, we have a minute left, Reverend K.W. Tullous. What would you like to leave us with this morning?
Well, I want to say, first of all, thank you for the invite to your platform. We've been rocking for a long time, I think, from Katrina to now. I want to say thank you for all you do. You are the voice of our community. You are that light in dark situations. You give us that ability to hope. And I want to just say thank you for sharing your platform. And I want to say to the listeners here today, continue to remain steadfast and immovable in this season. Don't be weary in well-doing, for in due season we will reap a harvest of a blessing if we don't faint. So don't give up. Keep your eyes on the prize, as they said back in the days, and remember that you got what it takes to make a difference, and continue to bring that difference every day, and continue to do something great. And thank you, Dominique, for all that you do.
Thank you, Reverend Tullous. I think if every church was giving out 300 bags of groceries and
every month,
feeding hundreds, then we would be a lot closer to having folks fed.
Thank you so much.
Indeed. News, traffic, and sports, and then it's time for Wealth Building Wednesday. Ka-ching, KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is black, will defend Chicago's sanctuary city status at a House hearing on March 5th, reaffirming the city's commitment to its values and an investigation into local policies and mass deportations. Apple shareholders voted to keep diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, opposing conservative efforts to eliminate them. This comes amid the Trump administration's criticism of such programs as